In today's video, guys, we're gonna be talking about the 3 things that I do not like, that I despise, that I absolutely hate about my 2022 and a half revised body style 3.0 liter 1500. We have to do this video before this thing ultimately ends up departing next week. Wow, overwhelming reaction and response to last upload, guys. Thank you tremendously for the support, for the love, for the camaraderie, for the fellowship, and for joining me back on kind of my social media sabbatical return. I'm not committing to any schedules, I'm not committing to any consistency. I'm committing to you guys saying that I'm gonna be uploading more about business, my day-to-day life, but also just taking a revised strategy to social media. Because for a period of time in my life, from let's just say 2019, beginning of 2019, January of 2019 to be overly specific, to basically like March of 2023, social media was effectively my full-time occupation. Well, now social media has kind of become an auxiliary input to that of my life, that of my businesses, that of the things that I accomplish. And ultimately, I did that because I wanted to reshape how I interact with the contributions I make to social media. I kind of am trying to be different and do my best to be unlike the rest in the sense that, you know, everyone's just taking these truck builds and they're just spitting them out like it's a production factory. Well, when you take passion and you make it a transaction, it can kind of become this nuance of life that becomes a little bit redundant. And redundancy happens to be one of those things that if you do or interact with it enough, you tend to kind of lose your mind. Well, passion for me is one of those things that is my overriding priority, and ultimately my passions, our passions, evolve over time. I kind of got a little unpassionate about just regurgitating trucks through and through and through. I mean, it's a set of wheels, it's a set of tires, it's a lift kit, it's aesthetics, and it's done. I didn't really get to share all of that with you guys, and I have a truck build that's currently on its way here soon that I'm going to kind of do that through. So I'm going to change the way that I schedule my content, but I'm also going to share some other stuff with you guys. Now, I also want to really be clear in the fact that I'm uploading to social media not because I have to, but because I want to. I quite literally had to upload to social media for a period of time there just because it was kind of what I told myself I needed to do. But now I'm choosing to upload to social media because I enjoy it. Yeah, there's a lot of haters on there, but man, I'll tell you what, like, haters only do their best to shed their realities on other people because that's how miserable they are. So for any of you that hate on me, I pity you. You have a lot to grow through. And that brings me to my next point. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is I kind of dabbled with the idea of sharing a little bit of what I've got going on and of taking kind of my blueprint that I've followed to be successful in every aspect of my life and like tease that a little bit with you guys. I just didn't expect to have such an overwhelming response. I mean, I'm talking emails, I'm talking DMs, I am humbled the fact that you guys follow along with my journey, and a lot of you have followed along with my journey since the very beginning. You all have seen how I've kind of transformed my life. And ultimately, I want to give back even further now to help you guys transform your life. And I'll be very transparent with you guys. I've got this fantastic step-by-step process that quite literally will help you do that. I'm struggling to find the right system to do it. There's a lot of systems that can do these things, but I'm looking for the nuanced one that can do the thing, but also add another few things to really make it worthwhile. And I really want this to be something that genuinely helps people to change their lives, because nobody's coming to save you. You have to advocate for yourself. Now, that's not what we're here to talk about today, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I'm just bringing you all along on a Saturday afternoon when the family's out, and we are gonna knock a few things out on the Denali 1500 3-liter, and that is working to get this thing back to stock. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. you don't hate anything about that truck because you love going for rides, don't you, buddy? Yes, you do. All right, numero uno is taking us into the cabin of this truck. Now, obviously, this is an Ultimate. It looks absolutely beautiful inside. The brown leather is sick. The interior, perceivably, is very high quality, but that of ownership tells a little bit of a different story. I've had this truck over a year now, and I've gotten to know all of its quirks and features, as our boy Doug DeMuro would say, in ownership, and what the realities of that look like. And one thing that drives me absolutely nuts, panel right here. So for those of you guys that don't know, you have like a dual glove box compartment. You've got this lower one here, and then you hit this button and it pops up the upper. Well, yeah, it secures, it works, it functions appropriately. But one thing that drives me absolutely nuts and I hate about this truck is there is a horrible vibration / rattle that comes from this section right here. I can eliminate that rattle by physically holding on to this panel, but I don't know how to eliminate it otherwise. Most conveniently, that speed happens to be 75 to 85 miles an hour, which, as we all know, is that of the average cruising speed. So when you're cruising and you don't have the radio on and the windows are up and it's nice and quiet inside, that quiet is certainly distracted by that extremely annoying rattle. I have not taken or pursued any corrective action on any of this. I'm sure I could bring it to the dealership and get them to figure it out, but I chose ultimately not to deal with it. All right, guys, so number 2 comes along with the infotainment screen. This is something that drives me nuts because the manufacturer provided us 0 option to opt in or opt out permanently from something that you are prompted and have to deal with every time you start the truck up. That right there. Yes, you have to agree to view the terms and data settings, and this application requires connected service subscription to use the connected service plan. So you have to either shop plans or dismiss every single time, prompt you over and over and over again. And then to follow on to that, if you don't subscribe to Google or sign in and do all of that stuff that it just asked, you can only see this screen for Google Maps right here, so you can't have a doubled in display. You can have CarPlay over here, but then you are required to have Google over here and you cannot make it full screen. And number 3 are these godforsaken running boards. General Motors, what were you thinking? Yeah, the idea, the concept of this was cool, but you're really screwing over any guy that wants to improve the look of their truck with a potential aftermarket set of wheels and tires. And believe me when I tell you, I live by the experience. So, Otto is over here demonstrating. I probably ran over some roadkill and he's smelling it right now. As you can see, my truck is extremely clean. Excuse me, dude. It's gonna open. Whoa, watch out. Good boy. All right, so, hop up, dude. Go ahead. Go ahead, jump in there. Hang out, do your thing. He loves going for rides. So these boards act as running boards. They fold out, as you can see. They have this kind of telescoping mechanism where they have 2 arms. They fold out, they fold in. It's very simple. Go ahead, Z. You're very happy now. Now, they actually serve a multi-purpose. Right here on the back side is a button. You can hit said button, and they will move out and around so you can step on it to reach into your bed. When something smacks it on the road and it happens to fold out while you're driving 85 miles an hour down the road, ask me how I know. It might have happened. So when I was running my aftermarket set of wheels and tires, it actually rubbed on the wheel and it quite literally did not go back into its position until I stopped. It was stuck and I could not reset it. Plus they make this lovely noise. Come on, Oz. Come on, buddy. Good boy. Overall, I love this truck. I've been extremely happy with it, so much so that I bought it with the intent to only keep it for a few months, and I blinked and it was a year later. And I'm sure I will miss the efficiencies of it from time to time once the new truck arrives and supersedes this one. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's where we're gonna be wrapping up this video. Thank you guys, as always, for tuning in, for watching, and for tagging along. We've got the CRF 110. We'll be dropping it off to get the valves adjusted, get a fork seal replaced, and some other miscellaneous things, so that way we can continue to rip the pit bike track. But that being said, I hope you guys have a great morning, evening, day, whenever it is that you're watching this video, and I'll see you in the next update.